Hello and welcome to Walk to Cinema podcast. And today we have the new Pixar Disney Plus exclusive Luca.
Yes, Luca is a kind of coming of age story about a sea monster that wants to explore the human world.
Yeah, and it's cutesy,
It's
but
very
it's
cutesy.
nothing too original.
No, I think that was probably one of my biggest problems with it was that I felt like I'd seen that movie before, like pretty much the exact same thing, except, different characters,
Yeah,
different,
for sure. It's
problems, but
especially the ending, the last 20 minutes where they clearly rushed it and they just went to their formulaic endings and try to wrap it up. That felt very like any other Pixar movie, any other Disney
yeah,
movie.
it did feel rushed towards the end, but then it also the ending was prolonged kind of where it just kept going, It didn't
Yeah.
really pass the
I assumed they were
conflict.
not super happy with the ending, so they kept stretching the ending, even though there's nothing to add at that point.
Yeah, it's a little.
Yeah, the last tournaments are a little boring, but I actually liked the beginning quite a lot more than like Onward or Soul. I actually
See,
laughed, which I didn't with those two, which is the two most recent Pixar that ended up on Disney Plus. And
see, I kind of disagree because I felt like, at least with Soul, I didn't really like Onward. I can't really defend that one at all. But with Soul, at least, I felt like I also had moments of laughter in that
mm,
one more so than I did with this one. I mean, this one still made me laugh, but it wasn't as original or as
yeah,
charming
Soul
as
is
I
better.
feel.
Soul's better film, and it is more original, but it didn't have laughing out loud moments like I think this one had at points, even though kind of felt bad laughing because there weren't very good jokes. But I still laughed, so I can't say that for Soul personally. But as a film, I do think Soul is better. I think most
I
people
just
would
have
agree that.
a different opinion. I do think Solo is better, but I also feel like it had more laughter for
Yeah, and if
me.
we look at our demographics, there's a lot of people that would be in the age of having their first or second kid,
Mm-hmm.
and if you want to watch a movie with your kid, this is a pretty good choice. Like it's not going to change your world, but you're not going to hate your life either. And I know watching kids movies sometimes you hate your life unless it's Curious George.
Right.
So this one, very tolerable as an adult.
Yeah, it was interesting to say the least. But anyway, I feel like it's not a complete waste of time. But I
Not
do
a waste of time at
feel like
all.
it was very different than what they had originally set out to do. And I feel like Disney and Pixar have kind of gotten into this slump where they haven't been able to make movies that they want to, or like they're not able to make them as good as they intend them to be, I guess. Because I feel like I saw a preview of this well before this came out, and it seems very different style and plot wise
That's
than.
probably because, when you saw a preview in a theater, they probably expected this to be in a theater, and it's not.
Yeah.
So they had to adapt, I suppose. They can't put as much money, especially because this one is completely free if you already have Disney Plus. So they can't really be making money out of it like they would normally. So they also can't invest like they would normally,
That's probably valid.
which sucks for the artists and the studios working on this. But yeah. And coming back to what you said earlier about Pixar not being able to do what they want to, I think Soul is their project.
Yeah. Soul
I
was
think
good.
everything else you can say it's a stuffer like Luca and Onward just to keep stuff coming out, but Soul felt like their project. And I'm not a huge fan of Soul by any means, but a lot of people are, and I can see its value very clearly.
Yeah, I agree. So I give this movie a 6 out of 10. I was gonna give it a 7, but the ending kind of, I don't know. I just couldn't give it more than a 6, I guess, because it felt very generic and formulaic
Hmm.
to me.
Well, I only think it felt generic towards the end. I actually really liked the first and second act, so I give it a 7. But it did kind of not work too good at the end. But I thought it was cute. The movie might not be original, but the concept felt new. The sea monster, well, it's the Little Mermaid, really, but less stretched out. It's more straight to the action, I guess, than the Little Mermaid.
I gotcha.
So 7, yeah. It's fun for an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes.
Well, that is all that we have to say about this for now.
No, that's not true. We have something else to say. And this goes to you. Yes, you, the listener. You should subscribe and rate us and leave a comment if it's possible.
And we'll see you next time.